Well, greetings, travelers. This is Mid-Nite at the Drive-Thru, and welcome back to Satisfactory. It has been a little while since I recorded this, though I have not been entirely inactive. As you may notice from the upper right, I do have 2,500 of the whatchamadoodles done for Phase 3, but that's simply because those were needed in a previous phase. And so I have those running up there, and I just let them run, and I came back, and lo and behold, they were all done. I don't remember if I did this before or not. Yeah, I packaged up all of Santa's workshop. It's all gone in the big closet here. Lights, please. Because, unfortunately, when the day came that the feature was turned off, so gifts stopped pelting me in the head out of the sky, it also turned off the recipes, which is kind of annoying. I mean, I worked to get those recipes so I could have the little strings of lights. And now the only way to get the strings of light recipes back, they still persist. Anything that I built with it is still there. But I can't build them anymore unless I change the date on my PC, which is annoying. So, in frustration, I canned up the whole business and shoved it in the closet. I also redid the copper farm up top here, just to lay it out more efficiently. So we've got a nice row of smelters, row of constructors producing wire, row of constructors producing copper sheets. So there's that. I did a few other things, but let's, yeah. This, I think, was the first hypertube I built, which is just express downstairs. But of course, I like making the exits point upwards so you get a little launch out of it. So I did that. The other thing is I did start using, I put a bunch of quick wire into the awesome sink, which now I forget what awesome stands for, but it actually stood for the thing that Ada said when it was first unlocked. I didn't realize that. That's funny. But I on the quickwire farm over on the coast, which is there on the compass rose there, Criterium Ivory, put stuff into there, and I've just started using it as my prevent processes from stopping. So as a result, and also feeding in all the alien DNA from creatures that I've come across along the way, I've managed to get quite a few coupons. Yes! That's lovely. So, those will come in handy. And so I went through and, in the research trees, anything that needed stuff, because you're kind of at a catch-22 in this tier, in that you have the ability to make things, but poorly. And the easiest way to defeat the things that are preventing you from getting access is with the Awesome Shop. Go in, go to parts. Now that they're unlocked, you can go in here and say, yeah, I just want to get some plastic. I want to get some rubber. And so I did that with some of my tickets. And so now I've got a fairly large pile of tickets. I guess the rest of them are back here. did I do with them? Stop turning the lights off on me. Are they here? No. What did I do with the other tickets? I was looking right at them. What an idiot. Okay, anyways. So I had plenty of tickets to purchase a few things I wanted, among which was the necessary bits and pieces to get some of these other things. Sulfur in particular, I wanted to get the rifle. So I did not have a refinery, so I just purchased the smokeless powder, which you need 50 of here. Stuff like that. So it's things that I could get if I went out there and did it the hard way. Again, same thing here, pocket dimension. 6 inventory slots for buying a little bit of powder. Well worth it. So, as a result, I now have the ability with this massive pile of tickets I've got on hand. I will be going in and picking up probably the rest of the things. You can see I've purchased a bunch of the architectural bits for foundation. Right now I just have the walls with doors in them and gates, but I do like windows. As I get more fancy, once we finish the mad scrabble for developing tech, then I can actually focus on making things pretty. And I do intend to do that. But other than that, not much changing there. One thing I do want to do, since I'm here, want to package up my blueprint designer, because I have use for it elsewhere, and it's just getting in the way here anyway. So I'd like to be able to move it around until I decide a permanent home for it. I believe I talked about putting together the stators and rotors to get myself motors, so I took one of those sources and ran them upstairs. The smart plating had been running all along, and so that's still full. But now, in addition, we have a few other things that are running here. We got the motors are coming in here, and those are now being pushed in with the smart plating and rubber that I'm bringing in by hand. I don't have conveyors to bring it here yet, to give us modular engines. So that'll be our second phase 3 part, and well, yes, we are actually sufficiently equipped to do that. Naturally, it's one more square than I can hold at one time. Just going to do this for a moment. So that will get this one out of the way. Whee! Let's see, what else? So, yeah. That's old, heavy modular frames. Still got, this is all filled up. I really need to put overflow stuff here if I want to do it that way, but I was kind of having a situation where I was running out of concrete because this was running all the time. So, let's go ahead and finish with the space elevator, at least for now. And let's get those in place. So that clears up some room here. And did I miscalculate? Apparently I did. Okay, well. So now all that's left is adaptive control units, and those need Can't click off of it, but the first piece there, that was from a previous phase. I think that was one of the phase 2 parts. Automated wiring, circuit boards, heavy modular frame, and computers. So the two pieces that I'm lacking currently are the automated wiring and the computers. So I've been working on that. So let's go for a little tour. First of all, we've got this cave over here. I never actually showed during a recording this cave, but it was full of spiders, or they call them cave spitters, but they're creepy and they are fast and I don't like them. So I've walled that off. However, we can tour it by taking the scenic route. So that's the cave. It should stay cleared out. If I ever pass through here and they have respawned, cave just comes out the other side of the hill. But I've run this short run of Hypertube up to this little spot that I like to call Sulfur Sunrise. Because one of the things you need for gunpowder, obviously, is sulfur. And so in this little stand up at the top of the forest here, just got this little shelf. There's a nice sulfur deposit right here. And so I have a nice bank of things running here. Of course, to do things with the sulfur, you need to mix it with coal, which I've got coming in. We're also making compacted coal, and I actually think I need one of those for a research project. And when things overflow, we are using the sink up here, so that's good. The coal comes up from that away, which we can pursue in a moment. But yes, coal is mixed with the sulfur and produces black powder. And I store that up here, which obviously we've got a nice supply. To get the coal, we just jaunt down here. Now, I have used this little area in the past because you've got the water here. Excuse me. You've got this lovely pond that you can use to supply water. And I should probably extract that SAM ore at some point. But you can run lots of coal-fired generators. But they really don't produce that much. And once you start producing oil refineries, and you can make fuel, then you quickly outpace the usefulness of it. So I'm pulling the coal in, but I'm just running it all up the hill through conveyors there. There's several... Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. You can turn around, I discovered. When you get into a hyper tube, if you inadvertently cross in front of the doorway, just try to fly in the other direction and it will allow you to reverse. There are actually 4 proper coal mines over here. I'm only using 2 at the moment. There's 2 more over there that are covered with breakable rocks. Speaking of breakable rocks, we do still have... Uh-oh. Aha! Well, this is an ideal time to bring out one of my new toys. We had the rebar gun. Now we have a proper gun with homing rounds. Next time, don't pick on someone you don't know anything about. Anyways, as I was saying, we do still have our explosives, but we have upgraded them. And I shall demonstrate. These have a little more punch. So, when you come across things that are protected by a lump of stone, such as this coal deposit, it's much easier to clear them. Also, since I cleared this whole area from vegetation, I set this up here, which is a copy of the biofuel producing set of constructors. The difference being that after we combine the wood into the biomass, which is ending up here, we also take that, run it into here to create the solid biofuel. But then, this is a refinery. We've got water here, so we combine it into liquid biofuel, which can then be packaged using plastic, which comes from this last one, which I think I've got some on me, sure. So let's throw a little bit more of that out. Throw a stack of that in here and let that work. And that will produce the empty packages needed to take that liquid biofuel. That'll start producing the canisters. And in turn, those will make packaged biofuel. So now, I've got a nice supply of packaged biofuel available to top off my other new toy, which is my jetpack. Now, of course, you don't want to fly too high and run out of fuel. As you can see, it does deplete with that orange bar in the bottom. But yeah, that's making life a whole lot easier. Now I can actually navigate the way I got used to doing. Flipping through the world here a little bit. So, back up to Sulphur Sunrise. Now, I have a few things that I still want to do. Haven't accomplished yet. One thing is just a little ways that way. There are bauxite deposits and raw quartz deposits, both of which are things I don't have yet. But they are available elsewhere, so I may not do it the same way this time. So now we jump down the hill. Back through the Cave of Splendor. Whack! Face first into this wall. Yeah, I'm probably going to rearrange that at some point, because I do like it when they launch me up in the air. Let's see. Where was it? Something here. That needs aluminum, which I'm not ready for yet. Oscillators. This just wants a bunch of the goop. What is it? Really want to get that power switch because I have some purposes in mind for that. Maybe I already did the compressed. I may have already done the compacted coal research. I may be misremembering, but that's fine. here for now, as well as that. Okay. Well, let's go and take a look at the other developments we've been making along the shoreline. With all of the awesome sinks running, I kind of depleted the quickwire, so I stopped doing that, and it's finally replenished itself. So, in addition to the conveyor belts, we now have hypertubes. And if you enter at a high rate of speed, your entire trip is much faster. Although you do feel it slowing down as you climb hills and such. Right here. But that's fine. Quick and easy. Those awesome sinks hanging off into over empty space there, and pop! Out we come. So this is a mess. I admit it. At some point I will redo this using blueprints. Hush! But now on to new territory. So yeah, increasingly aggressive wildlife up here. As you can see, I've got some stuff built in over here, because this is a very neat little area. We have a pure limestone deposit over there, so I'm producing concrete. We've got pure copper down here, so I'm able to run a lot. In fact, I've got a lot more that can still come off of this, because for ease of organization, I'm running a single smelter into a single constructor for making copper sheets, but the constructor can only handle, at the default clock speed, 20 ingots per minute. Smelters produce 30, so I am actually underclocking all these. It costs a little more to build it, but they run more efficiently. As you can see, this is running only at 2.3 megawatts. And I don't have to put a layer of mergers and splitters in between. I can just go one-to-one, so it's simpler. Also, behind here, off to the left of the limestone deposit, we have a pure iron. In fact, we have two. I haven't even used both of them yet. Yeah, bleh. Haven't even used both of them yet. The part that I've got being used right now is just doing iron plates, because as I lay out all this foundation, I'm going through iron plates somewhat quickly. I keep forgetting to bring a paleberry up here. So, the latest addition, which I was working on, was adding these assemblers to deal with the plastic I've got coming from the north, and join it with the copper sheets to give myself a nice ready supply of circuit boards, which is going to make the construction of those computers super easy. And there are other things, other things that are required. Require circuit boards. So anyways, that's this base. I don't really have a good name for it. It should have something to do with the pureness, because there are 4 nodes right in this area that are all pure. And I'm pretty sure there's another limestone just to the south of here, but it's a little too far away for me to incorporate it into this, and I've got a pretty good supply at this point of limestone and concrete. And I've branched this off because I'm going to take the rest of the plastic and continue to run it back to the main base. But now, as you look into the distance, you can see signs of life. Let's get it going. One thing I noticed, these stupid hatchers keep respawning no matter how many times I've killed them, which is irritating. Not as bad as cave spitters respawning, but still. I think the Caterium is up there, on that hill or somewhere near it. There's a pure Caterium up here as well. Anyway, you can see I'm running the plastic on top of the tube, so it's less scenic, unfortunately, but it's quick enough and we're out. Whee! So yes, this is what I talked about before. Don't remember which part it was, but I mentioned that there were 2 pure crude oil deposits. And so I have started, and I'll just give you a quick tour here. We have in this configuration, this is the first one I did, which is closer to done. We've got water extractors on the outside, because the refinery process is a little unusual. You have your pump, your oil extractor, which I'm overclocking to the max, so that's pulling out 600 cubic meters per minute. And I push that up into the industrial size fluid buffer up there and bring it down. Yes, I know it's not very accessible for walking through. So that feeds 10 refineries, each using 60 per minute. So that's maxed out. Each of those produces polymer resin, which is needed for that research project, but as you can see, I'm not letting it back up here. Fuel gets generated 40 per minute, so a total of 400 per minute from all 10. Now, for each of these, we have a secondary process. The output, this one's a little convoluted, but we'll follow the polymer resin around the backside, and there's a reason for that, to a second set of refineries. Each fuel refinery has a counterpart rosin to materials. This side is rubber, the other side is plastic. So you convert, and since it produces just as much resin output, or rosin output, I don't know which is correct, as this takes as input, all we need to do is make sure that the water intake is sufficient. They are different. Rubber takes twice as much water as plastic, which is interesting. I didn't know that at first and was wondering why one of my fluid buffers was running out and the other one was not. So, when those complete, the rubber is collected through the set of elevated, as you can see, rubber going on its way towards the collector here, which passes illogically through the power tower, but whatever. And then we have the switch, which, since this is currently full, the excess is being routed off to, you guessed it, an awesome sink. Same story on the other side. I like these curved pillars. Same story over here, except the content is currently empty because we are siphoning it off, sending it down the conveyor belt. And we have not slowed down enough to let this catch up. Anyway, once the fuel is pushed out of the first stage of refineries, it is joined together and pushed up into a third set of fluid buffers, one for each half of this refinery. From the fluid buffers, they are brought down the hill here into the fuel generator array. Now, these don't use that much. I've got a few of them overclocked at 200%, just so that I can make sure that it's using all the fuel and producing as much plastic and rubber as I can use. The idea is to save power shards. When I have the resources, I will finish building those so that they're all just running at the default clock speed, because power shards are a limited item, somewhat, at this stage of my development. But that's it. So, yeah, as you could see from that power pole, we are now quite comfortably out of the range of having any problems with power for at least the time being. Now, 1.5 gigawatts of this power, because that's 7.5 there, 1.5 of that is being generated at the second of these two, which is up here. This one I haven't finished yet. I mean, I haven't technically finished either. But the way that the land is laid out here, I did it a little differently. Same basic concept. Extractor on either side. I'm currently just using one awesome sink in the middle here. And it kind of... crude oil's brought in here. Upper buffer, but instead of bringing it back through the refinery array to add fuel pillars, the fuel pillars have been put on the back side. And so it's a bit... I still don't have accessibility down the middle. But 60 cubic meters per minute worth of crude oil is converted instead directly into heavy oil residue and plastic. And the reason for that is what you just saw on the conveyor belts. I have the ability to bring black powder, which I'm currently doing manually, and combine that with the heavy oil residue to produce the smokeless powder, so I don't have to buy that anymore. And the smokeless powder is absolutely necessary for the advanced weapons, both for the cluster nobelisks and the homing ammo. That's the name of the advanced grenades. Cluster nobelisks. They have other ones. Toxic gas. Pulse nobelisks. I've seen somebody in a YouTube video using pulse nobelisks as a means of propulsion, which is kind of amusing, I suppose, but not my cup of tea. A bit like the launchers, the jump pads. Just not my way of doing things. So I was up here putting fuel generators in place and ran out of supplies. So that's as far as I got. I've still got more to lay out. And this is not running at capacity. We also have, so he won't run away and get hurt. Hey there, buddy. How you doing? Oh, you found some barrel nuts. Okay, well, that's better than toxic waste. You're a good lizard doggo. You can't see except through the inventory menu, but he is being petted every time you do that, so... Sorry, I don't have any pale berries for you right now, buddy, but I will bring you some. At some point, I'll build a nicer enclosure for him. And Rudolph. Yes, there is a significance between the names Fabian and Rudolph. It's not pleasant. So, yes, I did wipe out all the vegetation on this island. And if you stand in just the right place... I did not kill the little bird flower things. And as a result... Can't hear him now. maybe then. But they're under there. There they are. Over there. Hear them? Get out from under my floorboards, you weirdos. Yeah, this whole area is much more quiet at the moment because I am not using all the fuel. Otherwise, I'd be getting more power. So, these go idle quite a bit. And that is as far as I have gotten. So, we now have 2 of our Phase 3 components ready to ship. And we just need to get the last one. So, now let's review here. We've got plenty of these, plenty of these, plenty of plastic. I should probably... That's the other thing, I don't have conveyors hooking up the 2 refinery sites with their output of rubber and plastic. I need to do that. And then screws. So I just need to bring home a pile of plastic. And I can... Unfortunately, these can't be built at the craft bench. But, let's see, plastic is over here. So yeah, let's just top up all of that. And so now I can't do it through the craft bench, but I can just stick a manufacturer up with a bunch of containers, put all the components in, and just let it run, and that'll finish Phase 3. It's hilarious to me that it gives you the option of trying to pick up components off of conveyors if you're close to them. Oh yeah, see, these are spaced out now. So we are definitely ahead of supply in the demand that we're pulling here. Because I have got this circuit board construction array running at max. Yahoo! And it has produced quite a bit. So that's that. We should have everything we need to go and slap that together. Now, there's excess copper here, so I can actually take some of that additional copper, make constructors that produce wire, reroute those into cable, and then the only thing that's not on site presently is screws. Because I'll have plastic, I'll have circuit boards. But since I do have the iron deposits, which still have plenty of capacity left, I'll produce another screw array like I've got here at the main base, and then I can build computers there. No need to bring everything back here. It just gives you such a kick out of the tube there. All right. Okay, yes, I sprained my ankle a little bit. It's fine. Let's just... You know what, let's just put this right out here in open space for the time being. Oh, I need motors to be able to even do that. Okay, no problem. Yeah, it's fine. I was just thinking I could dump a bunch of stuff and it would make this easier. It's not necessary. And now I realize that it is necessary. Okay, well, joke's on you, Chuckles. Wow, this is still running. Alright, well, I can free up one spot to give me the motors. And then I definitely do need to clean up my inventory in order to be able to do this next piece. Well, let's throw stuff in the container here. We don't need... Actually, this... These pieces that can't be used, I'm just throwing back here. I don't need these right now. And I don't need the fix-it coupons. So, let's build our manufacturer. I'm just gonna... This is a temporary installation only. Right, so the components we need. Yes, it's not perfect. Okay. We need power. Excuse me. Oh, automated wiring. That's the other piece. Alright, well, let's, computers we got, circuit boards we got. Let's see, we're gonna need a total of 1,000. Right, no, half of that, because this recipe produces 2. I need 100. So 50 times 10 circuit board is 500. So just everything else we do not have enough of at the moment, but we can get them started. We're going to end up needing computers. We got 31 at the moment, but that's no big deal. Okay, the other pieces we need. Heavy modular frame. Well, we got 40 on hand, but we got plenty of those upstairs. And then the last piece is going to be this automated wiring, which I can do from stators and cable, which I have tons of. Okay. This is doable. We'll just slap down assembler. Make sure we don't cramp the hairpin turn on the input. Yes, this is horrible layout, and it's just a temporary measure. Alright. And we want stators. Stators. Let's see. Stators are here. Those are coming here. Let's go ahead and grab a pile of those. Yeehaw! Oh, you need power too, don't you? Okay, you're going to make automated wiring. Load you up with stators, and then let's see, cable. Now, since this whole thing is a temporary process, what did we say we needed here? 15 makes 2. So I need 750 automated wiring to go into here. So I'm going to need that's a lot of cable. Okay, well. This might take a while. I mean, I'm producing quite a bit, so it's not really a problem long term. It's just it's going to take more than fit in here. Now, we're not using these other shards for anything else at the moment. We've got plenty of power, as you saw. So, let's ramp this up. 2.5 per minute to 6.25. It does use a heck of a lot more power, but we've got plenty to spare, so that's fine. Alright, and we've put in circuit boards according to what we need. So I'm comfortable with overloading other components. They'll just flash through there so fast. But they are in there now. So now as we produce the other components, we can just load those up. Let's go get some heavy modular frames. of the jetpack. Of course, if you forget which one went where, which I have, then does it matter? Not super sure it does. Obviously, that's circuit boards. That's automated wiring. I think well, shoot. Here, you go in here now. So now it's just a matter of doing computers. And computers, I can actually do with the workbench. Let's see, I need cable. Cable's going to be the short point here. So I need screws. Yeah, that's gonna chew through my supplies of cables pretty quickly. It said I need 750 automated wiring and they're 20 cable a piece, so that's 15,000 cable. I'm just not sure how able we're going to be to crank that all out while we're sitting here. Also, I'm going to need screws, which we do have in abundance. Not a problem. Here, right? Yeah. Oh, that'll help. There we go. Yeah, so I probably will have to take another trip up the coast to grab some more circuit boards from that array up there. That should give me the ability to finish off this run of computers. Computers are needed in the fuel generators. So I've been just kind of making them by hand, like this. But with all the pieces coming together, I will be able to do that on the shore, and then have a good supply of them for building more fuel generators in the future. And of course, computers are used for other things as we move into the final tier. It's a component for supercomputers. Yeah, so this isn't bad. I'll be adding 50 computers. So the 31 I already placed in. So that's only an additional 19. Just need to go and get another 2 stacks of circuit boards. Which it's producing very quickly, so that should be fine. You know, I do still really enjoy relaxing with this. So I apologize if I have built a bunch of stuff while you weren't there, but what can I say? I'm impatient. Like to do this, and I don't always feel like recording and talking. But today's a good day. Hope your day was good. Or if not, I hope you're looking forward to a better one tomorrow. Run up the coast real quick and get those other circuit boards. Once I get the phase 3 stuff done, then it'll be a matter of seeing what pieces, obviously Mark 3 miners, Mark 5 conveyors. I don't even remember what those use for construction. Oh, right, they use the aluminum. So there's that whole tree to unlock. Get some bauxite. Again, I might not do it the same way. I might not go over the hill from Sulphur Sunrise. Because if I recall correctly, there's some pretty good components up in the hills. And I'm probably going to do this differently too. Oh, wait a minute. This is... I did not want to go that way. See? It's so good that I know that you can change direction. Okay. Oh, man, look at all this stuff. I'm going to bring a few extra. Should be more than enough. Yeah, then I need to get some more cable. I have enough screws to finish the job in plastic. Yes, nice shot. And then we start looking, once phase 3 is completed, we start looking at, first thing I want is a hazmat suit, so that I can get rid of those extraneous pieces of uranium that are lurking around here. Why does it keep turning my light off? Yeah, then I can start working towards nuclear power. Then, once the milestones are done, the only thing left to do is to make sure I've got all the best recipes. So that's going to be a case of heading out into the wasteland, so to speak, and hunting down power slugs so we can get more shards to push everything to peak efficiency. And then hard drives from damaged drop pods. So I will build one of the vehicles. There's the truck, and then there's the Explorer. The Explorer doesn't carry as much, but it is very maneuverable. And exploring the rest of the map probably is easier to do with a maneuverable vehicle. After that, once you've got everything as efficient as it can be, then it's just sit and build pretty things. I can handle sitting and building pretty things. Okay. You should be sped up as well. It's only 2.5 per minute, which means, well, if I need 100, it's going to take 40 minutes, all told. So, in short, we're not going to catch it in this video, because I don't do editing anymore. And that would be the only way. I'm just going to slap a container here for these to run into so it doesn't hop off or anything. 10 down, 90 to go. So we have some work cut out for us as far as the completion of this is concerned. But I think we'll be in good shape. So, for the sake of inclusion, I will try very hard after this completes not to launch the space elevator and unlock Phase 4 until we're back together again. Pinky swear. Anyway, I think I'll go ahead and call this apart then. So, from the Drive-Thru, this has been Mid-Nite saying thank you for joining us, and I hope you had a little fun. Not as much fun as it could be if we could play multiplayer or something like that, but, well, I'm just not a multiplayer kind of person. Why? Because I have no friends. Oh, you just have professional detachment? No, we just don't have the knack. All right. If you recognize that line, hail and well met, hitchhiker. So, until next time, thank you and drive through. Bye-bye.